Here are scenes from tonight's exciting episode.
Silver grey light of early morning, and the stage is set for what promises to be one of the greatest feats ever accomplished by British pilots. Wind and visibility are both so good that already an hour ahead of time, the tugs are slowly moving the Queen Mary away from the fitting out basin at the start of the most momentous, the most venturesome, and certainly the most ticklish voyage of her whole career. Between this point and the sea lies 15 twisting miles of the River Clyde, with a center channel so narrow that if she swings more than a few yards off her course, she'll strike the mudbanks, and so shallow that at some points there'll be less than 10 feet between her keel and the river bed. And as if all that isn't enough, there are 3 difficult bends to tax even further the navigational skill of the men in command on the bridge, the 2 pilots and Sir Edgar Britton, the Commodore of the Cunard White Star Line. And now at last her nose is pointing westwards, and slowly she moves forward to bid goodbye to her birthplace, with planes roaring overhead and sirens sounding, and close on 1 million people lining the route. And meanwhile the Pathé cameramen risk sudden death, climbing to the dizzy tops of great cranes to get the pictures of this historic journey of the largest vessel that has and probably ever will steam down the Clyde. And from above, more cameramen are looking down on the 1,018-foot length of this wonder ship of the British Merchant Service. Round the Dalmuir bend, speed is reduced to less than walking pace, and the tugs, like tiny smoke-puffing gnats, push and pull the 80,000-ton hull into position. Now come aboard and share the view of those who were privileged to look down on the Scottish countryside from the Queen Mary's towering height. As she swings slowly round Bowling Bend, Sir Edgar Britton watches every movement from his outlook on the main bridge. With the veteran commander is Captain Cameron, the senior pilot, while the second pilot is on the after bridge controlling the tugs astern. Her future officers and petty officers are already at their posts, but her crew won't be commissioned until after she's officially handed over to her owners. As she passes the town studded along the lower reaches of the Clyde, she towers above the houses like a gigantic steel skyscraper. And so at last she reaches the open sea, and another Clyde-built ship has left her home to carry the name of Scottish shipbuilding across the oceans and round the world. And the sun sets as she lies at anchor off Greenock. She will not pass this way again, but to thousands of Scotsmen she will be a thing of pride forever.
Welcome back to another Haunted Encounter Adventures episode. Tonight, we travel back to Long Beach, California to once again do a ghost hunt on the Queen Mary ship. But this time, we bring along our structured light sensor camera along with our spirit box to see if we can see the spirits and also hear what they have to say. This is going to be another great Haunted Encounter Adventures episode.
Keep right at the fork to stay on exit 30B, then sharp left onto Long Beach Boulevard.
Haunted Encounter Adventures.
I can't believe we're back here in Long Beach, California, getting ready to explore this historic Queen Mary ship once again. This time, we bring along new ghost hunting equipment. Will we actually see the spirits that dwell within these haunted halls this time, and will they speak to us? Come along with us and let's find out together. As we get our boarding passes, I couldn't help but wonder what kind of activity we will get inside this haunted ship. Even Ruby was excited to check out what was inside. In today's Haunted Encounter adventure, we are joined with our good friend Carol. Now let's all climb aboard this wonderful ocean line cruise ship together. I hope you're as excited as I am. As we approach the Queen Mary Bell, the SLS camera picks up its first catch of the day, a spirit ringing the bell. If you listen closely, you can hear the bell ring. After it's done ringing the bell, it then floats down and disappears in the deck. Let's all now enter the main hall. The construction of the Queen Mary began in 1930. In 1934, the ocean liner was launched, in which time it was christened by its namesake, the Queen Mary.
Sending up a flare, hoping I float. I don't know where, there's only one way to go. Gotta cut the fear.
As we pass by the table and chairs, the SLS camera picks up a ghost apparition. The Queen Mary was Britain's first 1,000-foot category of ships. It grossed a tonnage of over 81,000. It was built to carry over 2,000 passengers. When World War II started in September of 1939, the Queen Mary was en route to New York City. After completing the voyage, the liner suspended its commercial services and was refitted as a troop carrier. Reportedly the fastest and largest such vessel during the war, the Queen Mary could reach a top speed of 32.5 knots, which was faster than many German U-boats. It was capable of transporting over 15,000 soldiers at a time. One trip in 1943, it set a record of carrying the most passengers of over 16,000 people. In October of 1942, the ship was involved in a fatal accident near Ireland when it collided with an escort ship. The Queen Mary was 20 times larger, and it sliced through the cruiser, which sank. Nearly 340 crew members on board were killed. The ship also helped families escape Hitler's plan by escaping before war broke out, as Bob Hope and his family was a part of these passengers. It was also a hospital for the sick and injured. had recently bought one of the original Queen Mary cabin's key, and I thought I'd bring it along with me as I visit this mighty ship to see if I can find the cabin. Let's see if we can find it together. Ah, there it is. Cabin M134. We are now in a room where it was said an original piano was kept, so we decided to use a trigger device to see if a spirit would activate it or not. To my surprise, it did go off, and later I came back with the SLS camera to see if the spirit was still there and if it was the one who had activated it.
Area back here, a whole area back here is one. Something just touched it. Is there somebody here that's touching my dog? Something's over here.
So none of the rooms are.
Well, I guess you have to get real close. You have to get close to it, yeah. Yeah,
It was going off by itself
But
a
there
couple
was stuff
times.
here, yeah, earlier when I was here, and there was energy here. So we figured.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you wasn't close to it when it went off those couple times.
And then I asked them to touch it again and it went off.
Wow.
In World War II, the Queen Mary was called the Grey Ghost due to her color at that time. But now today, that name means a whole lot more because of all the ghosts who still roams this most haunted ship in the world. From slicing in half another ship, killing many, to engine propellers cutting men in half, to grisly murders that has occurred in some of its rooms, this death ship holds the record of confirmed count of over 49 plus deaths. This Vortex ghost ship will always hold the number one for the most hauntings on water.
Sinking like a stone, sending up a flare, hoping I float.
I don't know where. There's only one way to go. Gotta cut the fear. I gotta cut the road.
Hope is wearing thin. The fury's caving in. The fire grows within.
As I looked in this doll room with my SLS camera, I was amazed on what I saw. While I was going over this footage for this film, I noticed these red eyes flying across the room. We are now at the haunted room B340. The numbers have been stolen and now only scratches with pin marks its location. As we walk through this haunted doorway, we step back in time to see what it originally looked like before its renovations. Let's take a peek. In the 1960s, a passenger aboard this ship brutally murdered 2 women without any apparent reason. He was locked in this room, now called B340. While waiting for police officers, the guard posted outside began to hear screaming. The murderer claimed somebody was in the room trying to kill him, but the guard ignored his cries for help, believing it was just an escape plan. It was after the police arrived when the door of the room was open and the man was found murdered on the floor. Now today, when guests stay in that room, they sometimes hear knocks on the door with no one there, or see a shadow figure standing in front of their bed. Some have said they've woken up in the middle of the night from screaming, while others have heard growls in the darkness. No matter how pretty they make this room, when you walk inside, you can feel the negative energy that lingers in the walls around you. Do you dare stay in this room? Will this spirit possess you like it did in the 1960s? Time will tell as people continue to take their chances, not knowing when they walk into this room, they might not walk out. We have decided that it's probably safer to talk to the spirits on the outside of this haunted room. As I was hooking things up, I was shocked that the spirit knew my name and wanted to know what I was doing.
So we're here at B340 on the Queen Mary. We're going to do a real quick spirit box session. Is anybody here who would like to talk with us? You want me to leave? Why? Do you not want us here? Where are you? You're right here. Can you see us? Talk to us. What is your name? Did you just call me an asshole? What's your name? How long have you been here? I think you've been here longer than a week. You don't gotta lie to us. Were you here in World War II? Yes. Did you die on this ship in World War II?
What's your name? How did you die?
Okay, we can't talk long. Okay, we gotta go. Do you want to ask her anything?
Were you shot?
We are now at one of the pools here that is said to be haunted by a little girl named Jackie, who was 5 or 6 years old, who had reportedly drowned in the pool, but no records of this can be found. However, reports from the staff who works here had said they have seen a lady in her 20s in a 1960s outfit walk down the stairs of the pool with her eyes looking down, then disappears. Could this be her, as the SLS camera sees a ghost spirit sitting outside of the pool's entrance? Let's see if she wants to talk with us.
Can you come over here and talk with us?
Yes.
Is there a little girl here named Jackie?
Yes.
Are you Jackie? What's your name? Is it Jackie? I know, a girl said something over here behind her. I thought it was her phone. There's nobody up there. Is there somebody here that wants to talk with us? We'd like to talk to you. Can we talk with you for a minute? How old are you? Some of my toys? I've got some toys here. Do you want to play with them? There's a ball here on the floor. You want to play with it? You want to play with that ball? You can play with it. Did you have long hair? sisters? Was it just you? Can you play with that ball in front of you there? Can you touch it? If you touch it, it'll let us know that you're here. If you touch that ball, then we'll know you're here. Can you see my doggy? You want me to set her down? You want me to set my doggy down? Can you see her? Look.
Alright, we'll talk to you later.
We're gonna go, okay? Hi. I don't know, we've never heard that before.
Yeah, weird.
When my ship makes it to heaven, I will call and leave you a voicemail. I never expected to set sail, let alone catch a sperm whale. When my ship makes it to heaven, I will call and leave you a voicemail. I never expected to set sail, let alone catch a sperm whale. As soon as we see the harbor lights on that dark and stormy terror nights, I will send you out a mighty shout, and you'll see my face in the rain, sailing on the ocean with the whale as my pal, counting the stars and putting them in a fruit jar. Who can say where heaven will be found? Or if I do, will you still be around? Sailing on the ocean with the whale as my pal, counting the stars and putting them in a fruit jar. Who can say where heaven will be found? Or if I do, will